Where was hockey invented? And before you say Montreal, think again. The Canadian game isn't as Canadian as you might think. Most historians agree that the birth of the sport can be traced back to Great Britain from the ancient sport of shinty back in the 1600s, when the players apparently played on sea ice. This is believed to be the first ever image of someone playing ice hockey with a puck. The dashing gentleman was playing on the Thames River in this drawing, published in 1797. Okay, there's maybe that, but it doesn't change the fact that for a long time, Canadians have claimed this sport as our own, as our men proved recently at the Four Nations Face-Off. So that raises the question, where in North America is the birthplace of hockey? And that question creates confusion and some arguing. Yes, the first organized game was in Montreal in 1875, but people in Windsor, Nova Scotia and Délı, Northwest Territories beg to differ. Both of those places say hockey, or something close to hockey, started in their town. Scores!
In 1988, when the school next door was celebrating their 200th anniversary, and they found documentation of two boys, they even named them, Pete Delancey and John Kennard, and one of them getting the front teeth knocked out with a hurley on Long Pond, and that was 1805 to 1818, that period. Windsor's up front right now, and it's been since 1988, and trust me, we've been in a lot of debates, but we're holding our ground.
We think it's an honor to be, recognized as maybe the first place hockey actually happened in the Northwest Territories. I don't know whether or not we'll ever truly determine where the first game actually happened. Well, maybe we should have a hockey game, and let's see who wins. Elders used to tell us stories when we were growing up about the fact that there was something going on. They couldn't describe hockey because they didn't know what it meant. They weren't running and they weren't flying. They didn't know how to describe that in the language, right? We had no clue what the elders were talking about. When hockey historians came forward and said, look, we found this letter that makes reference to the fact that Sir John Franklin and his crew, when they came to Délı in 1825, 1826, were playing a game of hockey to pass the time.
Maybe less organized games, but hockey nonetheless. Those two towns have been laying claim for years. But what if they're both wrong?
I am Marc Durand, and I'm walking near the Rivière Saint-Charles in Quebec City, where we played shinty on ice on New Year's Day, 1825.
This hockey historian was working on a book when he stumbled upon an announcement in the Quebec Mercury newspaper from more than 200 years ago.
December 21, 1824, there's an ad, there's a story that they will play shinty on the little river, la Rivière Saint-Charles, for the New Year's Eve. And they invite all the friends of Scotland to join in and to play Camanach. That's the word that they called in Gaelic language, the shinty.
And some other hockey historians agree.
I'm not saying that they didn't play something that looked like hockey in Windsor, but we don't have the same level of evidence. Délı is sort of out of their race because they're later, so the Quebec City one can hardly be refuted. I mean, it was clearly documented.
I hope they're not mad at us.
The debate could rage on forever. And maybe that's a good thing.
When someone finds something, then it's encouraging. It means, well, not everything has been found yet. So maybe we can keep looking and find some more. So yes, it's wonderful.
So a rich history of hockey in Quebec City. But what about the future of the sport in the province's capital? I mean, there hasn't been a pro team to cheer for there since 1995 when the N.W.T left. So the city that could lay claim to the first instance of hockey in North America, the effort to bring pros back to town is unwavering. So since then, there's always been a push to bring pro hockey back to Quebec City.